And let's get started. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're excited to share the seventh cohort of the Stanford Blockchain Accelerator. I'm Gil Rosen. Before we get started, we'll do a quick intros from the leadership of the Stanford Blockchain Accelerator. So why don't we start with Kuhn, Steven, then I'll give a quick overview, and we will kick this off in the next 3 minutes. Kuhn, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Gil. Hi, everyone. My name's Kuhn Peng, started the Stanford Blockchain Accelerator about 3 years and a half ago, like beginning of 2021. I mean, beginning of 2022, end of 2021. So it's great to see how the kind of the program grow and helped a lot of startups throughout the years. Also helped to start quite some initiatives, Stanford and also outside of Stanford, just a broader blockchain ecosystem. Have a course on Web3 entrepreneurship, teaching it with Gil and Steven. Also working on the fund, Blockchain Builders Fund. Also helped like started several initiative or events like BAS, which is actually this next weekend, August 3rd in Berkeley campus. So you have not registered, feel free to register. I'll share the link. And also started several other initiatives like ETH SF and ETH New York. So yeah, so looking forward to listen to your pitches and see like the how what you learned throughout the accelerator program. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Kuhn. Steven, give a quick intro and then we'll get the
Yep,
show on the
sweet. Hi,
road.
everyone. Third amigo here on running the accelerator. Great to meet everyone. We've got an awesome group together. Let's see. I work with Gil and Kuhn on basically everything, so I won't repeat what they work on. Prior to this, I was the team lead at Coinbase Ventures. Prior to this, I worked at Capital One Ventures. And then prior to that, I worked at Google for a long time as a product guy and a partnerships guy. So yeah, really fun working with all these talented founders and excited to give them the limelight now.
Awesome. And yeah, let me. Ooh. And I'm Gil. Kind of started the accelerator together with Kuhn initially as part of the Stanford Blockchain Club. We then kind of became a collaboration with the Alumni Club, and the accelerator itself is a free and non-dilutive program for students and alumni of Stanford. But we try to provide resources to all. We have sessions that perhaps you guys have seen in the last 6 months. This is our seventh cohort. I think we've had 85 teams go through at this point. We've got half a dozen unicorns. Collectively, the teams have raised 700, 800 mil. So we've had an awesome kind of set of products that have come out of the accelerator and that we've supported. And excited for you guys to kind of see this next cohort here. As Kuhn mentioned, we've got a couple of other fun events, including BAS on Sunday, where we have an amazing lineup that's at UC Berkeley, and then ETH New York the following week. That'll be in New York. So to kick things off, we're going to start with SurfLayer. Um, Remy, I believe, is on the call. And SurfLayer is building kind of an intelligence layer for real-time signals, and it's been awesome kind of working with Remy in the last 6 months. So Remy, let's there we go. Are you able to present?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let me get started. Okay. All right. All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
All right, perfect. I'll get started right off the bat. Yep. All right. Super excited for today. Thank you for giving us a chance. And for the last 5 months, it has been a fantastic journey with the folks at the cohort, as well as Gil, Steven, and Kun. Today, we are presenting to you SurfLayer. And this is what we call the Hyperloop network for top signals. And ultimately, what we're building is a one-liner AI-powered signal marketplace and routing infrastructure. So let's kind of come back. Uh, sorry, let's just kind of unpack the problem that we're trying to solve, right? With AIs and all the information, AIs and crypto, signal searching game is just accelerating, right? What do I mean by that, right? Search, aggregate, and analyze. When we actually look out for information, whereas we had to kind of spend hours to kind of read, aggregate, and analyze, all that cycle is being compressed into a few minutes. Now, with the help of ChatGPT o3 or all these other AI aggregated tools. Not only that, because of that, the attention is becoming the scarcity. What does that mean? That means that people are more optimizing for filtered push instead of just the pull, as opposed to just simple Google searches that were used to be triggered by users. We're now like putting all these AI workflows together so that we actually accelerate the cycle of search, aggregate, and analyze. But there's one caveat to this, which is that not all AI have access to all the information around the world because world garden platforms contain, although they contain the best information, these AIs, especially ChatGPT, are not really good at reading or searching through Twitter, for example, searching through Substack, searching through a lot of these walled gardens. And this is exactly the problem that we're trying to solve. So just to kind of give you the high level idea of the solution of our product, which we'll also be demoing in a few minutes, just imagine not having to move around hundreds of tabs on your browser, not having to move around all these different Telegram group chats, not having to move around all these different Substacks or platforms whereby you have been subscribing to certain and you look for top signals around the world. So what that means is your local browser AI actually gives you aggregates all the top signals for you for the last hour, for the last minute. In a way, for example, like if I want to follow everything around meme coins or a specific sector within the meme coin, my AI would now be able to aggregate it based on certain subscriptions and also certain nodes that provide us the top signals around the world. So not only the meme coins, but also in one place, you'd be able to see what's happening in AI, right? The most up-to-date information. So in this way, you can imagine the product or the Surfle extension that we'll be demoing as well, an aggregation of all the top signals around the world cater to your specific interests. So this means that we no longer have to resort to recommendation systems of Twitter. We don't need to resort to recommendation systems or these algorithms on YouTube or Instagram, but actually having and that means we're gaining back the control in terms of the data and the signals that we consume. So just to kind of give you guys a high level overview of our architecture, we've been spending for the last 5 months, spending a lot of time into building the Surf Search and the Surf DB component, which is actually fueling this SurfLayer. And SurfLayer is ultimately an incentivized Hyperloop network for signals. So let's just dive in into what that really means. So right now we have built on the right side, you guys can see that the Surfle browser or browser extension is what's kind of powering or the gateway in terms of the SurfLayer. So let's say I'm just, I've been reading a bunch of these news articles, right? And these, I have hundreds of them open usually, on my tab. I don't want to read through all of them. So what I would usually do is with our Surfle tab, it actually gives you a browser AI to manage your tabs really easily. All you need to do is just click on Save All. And what it really helps you to do is it allows you to organize your tabs really easily. But where things get really interesting is on the other side. Okay, let's say I want to find the best information around AI agents, or I want to find the best information around crypto. What I would do is I would be subscribing to a bunch of uh, the top signal followers or top signal channels, if that makes sense. So what would happen is, okay, let's just push. If some subscriber or a good person with the top signals actually pushes these information uh, from all over the world, from all over the internet, from the edges of the web, now we can actually view it right here on our notification. So what's happening is we're pretty much connecting these two different nodes. Um, um, Presumably from the other side of the world. So let's just unpack what just happened, right? This person on this one browser through our extension was able to pretty much push and broadcast the gems of the world, the gems of whatever this person was looking into, AI, AI policies, potentially, around OpenAI, or potentially around Trump. And he wanted to kind of broadcast it because he thought it was really interesting, or it was worth sharing. On the other side, I can now see all the news, all the relevant news that has been broadcasted. So in this way, we're kind of having an inbox of all the signals from all around the world, and not having to actually search for it and kind of making that Google search every day. Now, where things get really interesting is we can actually now chat with each of these information that we now have in our inbox. So pretty much this is a knowledge-based sharing platform, as in anyone around the world can actually aggregate and share, broadcast all the knowledge base that they deem really interesting or important. And on the other person that we see on the left side can actually chat with the knowledge base in real time based on the AI that has been trained on these knowledge base. That being said, all right, yeah. So let's just unpack what's kind of fueling everything, right? The SurfLayer, we saw all these Surfle extensions, which are pretty much browser AIs that allow you to, first of all, generate signals, but at the same time, find the right signals for you. We're just about to launch our web app as well as our mobile app that people will be able to connect and see all the condensed pieces of signals all around the world, right in their hands. And what's actually happening under the hood is we've built a distributed Postgres DB that actually allows people to query all the AI context. So this is what we call the AI context availability layer. Um, and there's also the routing that's happening under the hood in a distributed way. And we're actually working very closely with the EigenLayer team in terms of incorporating Eigen Compute as well as EigenDA into our product. So everything is actually local for first, right? All the memory, all the things that you are chatting with is actually all synced on your local. It only becomes distribute or publicly available if you choose to push it, right? So in that way, like I think we are positioned in a very specific or a very unique way from other normal like the or Comet browsers that just allow you to search and kind of automate a lot of the tasks. We actually this is more like a gateway for us. Surfle extension is a gateway to the global signal marketplace and a Hyperloop network for all the top signals catered to you. Yeah, our team is a very determined but a small team. It's me and Noah and Chan, who's also a PhD student at Stanford GSB. So we've been building a lot of AI integrated products and with a good amount of expertise from machine learning, as well as distributed systems, as well as microeconomics or game theory. We're very excited for what's to come in the next few years. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Sweet. Thanks so much, Remy. Appreciate it. And yeah, excited for building that kind of digital agentic layer of information from around the world. Next, we've got a super exciting team called Lucien, and Lucien is building the first AI scientists and as a team of like quantum computing PhDs. So super interesting stuff coming up.
Hi, can you hear me? Hi, yeah, this is Xiaoliang Qi. I'm a physics faculty member at Stanford and the chief scientist at the Lucien project. And first, we are really glad to be part of the SBA Cohort 7, and thanks Quinn, Steven, and Gil very much for all the really helpful instructions. So the goal of Lucien project is to build the first AI scientist platform. And let me start by describing a little bit the problem. So we see that scientific research is a really widely open area for AI. So there is a huge amount of time and money for all the researchers globally, all the investments from government and elsewhere, and all these investments leads to really important discoveries and inventions. So now, on the other hand, we all see that LM has achieved a really high level at the textbook problems from primary school to middle school and to now to undergraduate and graduate level. So with the latest news is that the model itself without tools can reach IMO gold medal. And on the other hand, although it looks so smart, it seems like it hasn't even really started to contribute. This may be a little exaggerated because you see different examples, isolated examples where AI can do some things in biology, some things in chemistry, for example, but it hasn't systematically started to contribute to science and technology innovation. So we would ask why, and then there is many reasons, but basically I would like to summarize the reason in this image on the right. It's like what the AI learned so far, given it to be math or coding or all these kind of tasks that many people do. There is sufficient training data so that the AI can quickly catch up and then reach a very helpful level. But doing scientific research means you're not like working on one topic, but working on like thousands of different subfields, and each of them require different things, and they don't have sufficient training data, and they don't have sufficient data out there. And as a consequence, the AI really needs, it's like the difference between learning to walk and learning to climb the mountain in the expert level. So if you want to climb the mountain in an expert level, you don't just try and error, you need a coach to tell you what to do. And that's what happens in scientific research because indeed, that's also what humans do. Human will learn how to do research by forming a team, and then the supervisors teach the students, and and that's how we learn to do these kind of specialized tasks and pass the experience and the know-how to each other. And we need the human to do that for the AI. So if you look at the current products, like what is called deep research, which now every large language model has this kind of every chat app has this kind of mode. That's basically restricted to literature research, literature review. So the key challenge is we need to overcome this complexity barrier and teach the AI not only how to gather information and organize them in a deep research, but actually use all the specialized tools. And there are like thousands of different sets of specialized tools out there, and we need to teach them how to use these tools and then combine that with the AI's general capability of reasoning and planning, execution. And then with this combination, the AI will be able to actually climb the mountain and doing the frontier research. So this is the problem. And then our approach is that we build not only one product, but this suite of products. So I'm trying to remember when I started. Was it like 20?
You've got another 4 minutes, so you're good.
Yeah, thanks. So we built this suite of product where Lucien is our agent, and we focus on develop the agent that can have the general capability of reasoning and planning and execution that's suitable for scientific research, and have a rich interface of interacting with human researchers beyond chat, has many different ways of collaborating with people. And then there is the community contribution that's really, really essential for this platform, where the users who are scientific researchers, they contribute two things. One is tools through the benchmark, the tools through the MCP.science platform using the MCP protocol. And the other is the benchmarks through the bench.science protocol, bench.science website. So we use these two platforms to gather the know-how and the tools of each specialized field, and then our agent lives in this open ecosystem and then becomes the collaborator of the scientific researcher. And then the consequence of this collaboration is a broader collaboration, and then a rapid, a more faster way of making scientific discovery. And then we are doing, in the past few months, we are making progress in two different directions. Mainly, one is that we are developing Lucien by collaborating deeply with world-leading scientists. We collaborate with the world-leading labs in many different directions, like quantum materials, quantum computation, strongly correlated materials, quantum computer theory and experiments. And in these collaborations, we learn the needs of the labs, and then we develop the agent in these specialized fields. So later, for example, I'm going to show a demo that shows how Lucien works in Professor Xiaodong Xu's lab in University of Washington. This is an example. Professor Xiaodong Xu is one of the leading experimental physicists in the field of two-dimensional materials, and he has made multiple groundbreaking discoveries. So if you search his name, you'll find out. So, and the other direction we made a lot of progress is we have a series of hackathons that we are built based on the MCP protocol, and then we connect the researchers in all different fields, including physics, biology, chemistry, and so on, to the Lucien agent, and in these two-day events, people, based on MCP protocol, build new AI applications in their field. We have successfully had one hackathon at Stanford, and and you will see some more in the demo video. And then we are holding another one in Beijing in August, and then more is coming. And we think this is a really exciting event that is going to happen globally and become the tradition. So now let me show you this demo.
How can large language models, LLMs, help us with scientific research tasks?
And hear the sound.
If you ask an LLM, how do I experimentally measure a two-dimensional material and study the quantum Hall effect? It will give you a detailed protocol, but you're still left to design the apparatus, write the measurement scripts, run the experiment, and interpret the data yourself. Now everything changes. Meet Lucien. The Lucien project is building the world's first AI scientist platform powered by a global research community. Lucien isn't just another tool. It's an AI agent that absorbs your field-specific expertise and research tools, then works alongside you to drive your scientific discoveries. The following is a real example from a leading quantum physics research lab where Lucien learns experimental procedures directly from human researchers. It configures and calibrates instruments, executes measurement scripts, collects raw data, and visualizes the results. In the next phase, Lucien compares your findings with published literature and drafts insightful reports, all automatically. Lucien seamlessly bridges experiment and theory. For example, it runs density functional theory simulations to model the experimental system, compares those simulations with your experimental measurements, and synthesizes both into clear, actionable insights, surpassing what most specialists in theory or experiment could achieve on their own. When it comes to decades of legacy data, Lucien transforms chaos into clarity. Given only a handwritten note describing how to organize your files, it creates standardized data templates, sorts and catalogs every experiment, and retrieves any dataset on demand. Lucien also adds its own analysis to the requested data, Your team will never waste time hunting for past measurements again. Best of all, Lucien lives on an ever-expanding open platform. Supported by MCP.Science and Bench.Science, its capabilities grow with contributions of tools and benchmarks from researchers around the world. At the MCP Quantum Science Hackathon, which took place at Stanford University on June 21 to 22nd, 2025, scientists in quantum computing, quantum materials, quantum chemistry, biology, medical science, and beyond unlocked powerful new ways to collaborate with Lucien. Through our AI for Science Hackathon series at AI4.Science, we invite the global scientific community to join this movement towards the era of the AI scientist. How can large language
Okay, that's all, and we think this is a movement, and we hope to ask all of you in research to join us in developing the AI scientist platform. And here is our contact. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Super exciting. And I mean, this is an enormous field. So next we've got another team in the DeSci space. Lewis from Jogl is going to share about the platform they have for connecting scientists with each other.
Cool. Thank you to the team. Thank you, Gil. Jogl, short for Just One Giant Lab. So Jogl is an AI-powered network for technical talents, entrepreneurs, and investors. What talents do there is that they find opportunities and they find collaboration opportunities. And then people can also post opportunities for those talents. Both sides are incentivized to participate to the network. So we started a few years ago as a scientific collaboration platform. And it was working okay, but it wasn't really scaling. But what we found doing this is that there is a huge problem in scientific ecosystem, which is understanding what skills are around me, and what are the resources around me, with whom could I collaborate. And so we decided to really focus on the problem, because often there is a lot of things people can do in an ecosystem, but if they don't meet, none of this happen, or typically it happens too late.
Lewis, is there a deck? I don't know if you're sharing anything.
I'm gonna share it, Yeah. And so we built a cross-platform to solve that problem, cross-platform agent to solve that problem. So Slack, WhatsApp, and Telegram. We're gonna release that in September, and I'm gonna give you a demo right now on Slack. Let me share my screen. Okay, so let's take an example. Let's say that I'm trying to build a blockchain-based DNA data storage platform, and I'm trying to think of what applications I could be building on top of that. So we have the concept of hub, so I could search locally. So for example, I could search in the, I don't know, Stanford quantum ecosystem, or I could search globally on the entirety of the platform. So I'm gonna give an example. So I'm working on a blockchain-based DNA data storage platform. I'm looking for someone who has experience with decentralized data storage, search globally. And so the agent is gonna look into the network on suggest profiles. Profiles are gonna have details on their profiles. And I'm gonna be able to see all the papers that they published. They're gonna be able to add items in their own portfolio. Give it a second. Here you go. So we have 3 profiles. I was looking for someone who has experience in data storage, so I can check the profiles one by one. I'm not gonna go through all of them, obviously. On the platform, I can contact the people. We're gonna do this via WhatsApp and Telegram. It's gonna be much more seamless. I can check people's portfolio. So this person has only papers. I can look at all the papers. I can have discussion with them on the papers, but I'm not gonna go through that right now. So say now, okay, I'm trying to understand Also how we're gonna do medical data handling. So let's say I'm looking for an architecture expert with medical data storage experience, search globally. And one thing while we're waiting for this query that's important is that one of the big bottlenecks we've seen as well in the ecosystem is that it's very hard to onboard people. And so right now, you're going to see in September when we're going to have the new version, it takes about 5 seconds to onboard someone and really have a good profile for them. So there is really zero friction to onboarding. Great. So okay. So it seems like the second profile would be the most interesting. Security researcher, experience dealing with healthcare data. And so, I have many more examples, but for example, the next thing would be, okay, what's a blockchain-based DNA platform good for? It's probably good for doing gene discovery for applications that would deserve having more data. So for example, rare disease gene discovery. So I'm going to do a last one, and I think you get the gist of it. We're continually improving how we're labeling the data so you can really be more and more precise, as in you could be looking for someone who has worked on that topic but who is not involved in that topic anymore to avoid conflict of interest. You can be looking for entrepreneurs. You can be looking for entrepreneurs who are also investors. You can be very, very precise in terms of the profiles that you're looking for. And so in terms of traction today, we're working with the biggest network of hospitals in Europe. We're working with the Pasteur Institute, which is 3,000 people all over the globe, all scientists. We're working with the XRP Foundation, and we're working with a Stanford lab around virology, which has labs all around the world. So we're piloting currently with those clients. Great. Did I find folks that have experience in rare disease therapy? Yes, I did. And again, I can look for their profile. I can ask more questions. I could ask the list of rare diseases that they're focused on. I could ask more details about their papers and so on and so on. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. How do I do that? There you go. Cool. So the next steps, as I was mentioning, is to really have this on WhatsApp, on Telegram, on Slack, and later on Discord. We don't want to have our own platform. We want to be in everyone's pocket. We're gonna be able to put people in touch, in contact directly on their platform. So if I say I prefer WhatsApp, I will get my introductions on WhatsApp directly. And then we're also going to add the ability for people to formulate opportunities. So for example, if we take Lucien, for example, one opportunity could be to be human reinforcing a specific model, and they're looking for a very specific profile to do that. Another type of opportunity could be, well, I'm an investor, and there is this very specific detail about immunotherapy that I'd like to check. I'm looking for someone who worked on immunotherapy, first generation, ideally with experience at Merck. And I would be able to find that person. And then once we have this, we're going to start thinking about the incentives. So just to close, we are really growing a two-sided marketplace where we have the talents and we have the opportunities. How we're getting the talents is that we're going to the ecosystem that are struggling managing their talents. And so this is going to be research institute, this is going to be universities, this is going to be consortiums, research consortiums. And then to bootstrap the opportunity pool, we're working with those ecosystems, we're working with companies, and we're working with investors that need technical talents to support them as well. The ask that we have today would be anyone who has connection with research institutes or schools or departments that want to have a strong alumni collaboration. It's totally in our wheelhouse, and we'll be able to serve them starting next week. So would love, if you're interested in reaching out, I'll share my email in comment.
Awesome. Louis, thank you so much. And as you've seen from the last three, kind of there's really this common thread of building these infrastructure data layers kind of on blockchain to allow agents and people to more effectively understand kind of what is the state of the world. Next, we've got Krish from Jina, who's going to be sharing a little bit about creating an AI QA agent.
Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Krish, and we're working on Jina. Jina is an AI QA engineer that basically just spins up synthetic users, which are AI users, browser agents, that test your app, catch bugs, and also provide usability feedback along the way. We've seen vibe coding explode over the last year or so, but more vibe coding equals more bugs. And more vibe coding means more testing. Everyone's racing to build code review tools like, Cursor, Gemini, GitHub, all of them have code review tools. But these only tackle code level logical errors and not runtime errors with user flows themselves. So teams are still spending a lot of time and money writing end-to-end tests, basically QA tests that test their user flows to make sure everything works well and all of these pass. But in order to do this, they have to write playwright tests, but these things are super time intensive because engineers have to spend time writing these test scenarios themselves. And playwright scripts are based on HTML selectors that are super brittle. Your app changes even a little bit and all of your selectors break, needing your entire engineering team to refactor all of the scripts. And so there's also a big maintenance burden because all of these tests need to be updated quite frequently. Outsourcing isn't the answer either because it just prolongs development cycle because there's a completely new team that you have to interact with as an engineering team. And so it leads to slower launches, and also external teams lack the same product context. And because of that, there's less effective test coverage as well. And so AI came to the rescue here, but most tools either use AI to write playwright scripts faster, or you still have to individually code in every single action that the QA agent can take on your app. Whereas with Jina, we're building the first fully autonomous AI QA engineer. And the way this works is that we deploy synthetic users, which are essentially browser agents, that take in a single prompt and turn that into a full-fledged end-to-end QA test, along with steps and assertions. And these synthetic users can also take on your user's persona, explore your app like a real user would, and catch bugs that your team might not have even known of. And do all of this while sharing any helpful usability feedback along the way. Every exploration that Jina makes can be turned into a test case that can be run on a schedule, on demand, or as part of your CI/CD pipeline. And Jina only gets better with more data. So Jina's performance as a synthetic user gets closer to your real users the more data we feed it. So whether it's analytics or any other sort of feedback. And so we can take it much beyond traditional testing. So we've been live for about 4 weeks, and we've had a paid early access program across Web3, SaaS, and e-commerce. Those are our 3 biggest categories. And some of our notable customers include LucidLink, as well as the Vaughn Group, which is the company behind multi-billion-dollar e-commerce brands like Roadskin and Hexclad. So let me show you a quick demo. Can you Can you guys see the screen as well, or do you still see the presentation?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay. So this is our app, and I have a prompt here where I'm asking Jina to put on the hat of a Gen Z user that loves fashion. Go to Amazon.com and pick any clothing item. Build out a test case with assertions, share any usability feedback, and if it finds any small issues, even minor bugs, mention them as it goes on. All I have to do is just this, and Jina renders the app on the right and starts going through the steps on the left. And we can take a look at its thought process right here. Just navigate it to Amazon. And as it goes through its exploration, it's starting to build out the test case as well. So if I click on the steps tab, you'll see that this is the test case itself. It's already made its first assertion, which is it wants to check to see that the Amazon homepage loaded successfully. And it's completely taken on the persona of a Gen Z user. It's making another assertion. And the best part about what we've done here is that the human always has 100% control. So if you ever want to jump in and edit the test case, you can always do that. So you can go ahead and edit the test steps however you'd like. But the idea is to use the agent to do as much of the work for you as possible, and you step in only when required. It's already starting to look for an aesthetic crop top, and so on. So it goes through the entire flow just like this and starts building out the test case. In the interest of time, I actually ran this exploration already, and this was the test case that it came up with. And we can take a look at some of the feedback Jina came up with as well. It provided some usability feedback, how Amazon could do even better. And you can imagine this getting better if we have access to first-party data that any web app would have. And once we run through the entire test case, we can put that on a schedule, we can run it on demand, and we can also connect it to your CI/CD pipeline. All the tests are cached, and so once explored, they run much quicker. That's pretty much it, but our vision here really is to become the platform for all types of agentic workflows. Jina specializes in taking in a prompt and building in an effective workflow. Every test case is basically a workflow in the background. And so we want to become the platform for all kinds of agentic workflows across both testing and robotic process automation. So that means we open ourselves up to use cases like QA testing, API testing, testing contracts. And on the RPA side, we can create a brand new agentic Zapier-like platform, an AI knowledge worker that handles all of the internal operations in a company. And really, we want to be able to use AI to surpass legacy solutions like UiPath with agentic workflows that do actual work for you. That's pretty much it. And we're looking for intros. If you have any customers that would find this helpful, please reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you, Krish. So next we have dFusion. So the blurb or description of the startup is high signal real-time data through a decentralized AI network, transforming how knowledge is verified, shared, and monetized. So now I'm going to pass the mic to Roger from dFusion.
Hey everyone, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Hi everyone, I'm Roger Yang, CEO and co-founder of dFusion. And the problem we're tackling is AI is hitting the data wall. The world's high quality language data will run out by 2026. What does this mean? It means AI, currently large language models are only trained on the public web, which is only 4% of the internet, as well as 90% synthetic data, which leads to a lot of inaccuracies and hallucinations. For AI to advance, it needs to reach the next 96% of private data, which is currently inaccessible to search engines and hence AI training. So this problem is being very vocal about by Elon, who basically is saying that there's far too much garbage in any foundational model trained on uncorrected data, which Grok and a lot of other LMs have gone into heat with. So how do we tackle this problem? Is we incentivize aggregation, validation, and access for high quality data sets on demand, while our tooling easily integrates into your workflow. Before I jump into a bit of a demo, I'll talk a little bit more about traction. Our backers include NEAR, BBF, Ether, and a few other Web2 VCs. We've been cash flow positive since Q2 of this year. We launched an MVP in October of last year, have over 650,000 users. We've aggregated over 235 gigabytes worth of pure text data with a 17% acceptance rate. What does this mean? This is 7 times larger than that of Wikipedia and over 50 billion token deduplicated domain-specific data sets. We've distributed over $300,000 worth of subnet licenses, and we're currently doing POCs with traditional and other Web2 companies. We also are working with other Web3 primitives such as Vana. We're a top 3 data liquidity pool on Vana. We've one of the first data DLPs to conclude a $25,000 data sale, and we have a $10 million commitment on the VFSN token for incentivizing aggregation of Telegram chat data, as well as we are also optimizing a model for semantic fact checking at scale, which I'll show you how it integrates into our main protocol, where we've been incubated by Yuma, basically. And so just to go into the demo, the easiest way to kind of understand what I've just talked about is hop on over to our website. Again, we're an incentive system that's incentivizing the aggregation of data, whether it's through different protocols, our own or other networks, validating this data using decentralized compute and different AI models, which are being optimized by a global community such as on BitTensor, and then making that data accessible through private subnets or kind of public good mainnet to attract the data that you need. And so how does this work? Is that we started off with mainly Web3 topics that we thought would be interesting to the community. We've since branched off to other main root pool topics, which is more for public good. How do folks contribute to these topics? Is essentially they drag and drop documents and files, whether it's audio or video, or links to different websites, as well as being able to connect via API. We have an AI model that scores the quality of these contributions. So you can score, right now, folks are being scored points. In the future, this will be tokens. And whether we score these topics based on relevance, the uniqueness, and content score relevance to the rubrics and the main root pool topics, as well as subnets. We launched subnets just over a month ago, where we have working with different industry partners. For example, a global hedge fund focused on real estate that wants to get more information on the Thailand real estate market. And so this, you can set up your own rubric for data using plain English. You can make it opinionated or how factual you want that information to be that passes the AI filter, as well as have sample files, which then can basically help those contributions score more. We have different ways of validating coming soon, as well as different bonding curves for data contributions. Now, to better understand what's inside these subnets, you can basically we collaborate with Stanford Research for using this Wikipedia-like article synthesis to basically create a Wikipedia-like article, which you'll see in terms of table contents, the actual article and sources. It takes a few minutes to generate this article, so I've actually pre-generated over here. So you can basically see all the high fidelity Wikipedia-like articles created. You can go back and you can see the sources on which this article is generated. You'll notice it's mainly generated on PDFs that have been contributed to by users across the world. And this would be like a research article that is typically not available to search engines. So again, why are we actually why are we actually doing this is because the market rates for access to high quality data is actually 100 times more is actually 100 times more valuable than generic web scrape data, which furthermore provides a direct path for subnet owners to direct monetization opportunities in participating and contributing and aggregating data on our network. And so our basic ask is we're seeking more paid industry partners or design partners who want aggregation, validation, and access to high quality data sets for their needs or for the public good. We've been working with companies across finance, healthcare, AI, market intelligence, and even more traditional trade businesses. So if you're interested, please contact me. You can reach me at DAO@dFusion or over Telegram at Raj918. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Roger. So next we have Bob. So Bob is a real-time on-chain information engine for blockchain activity. So we have Sophia from Bob. So the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thanks, Kuhn. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me the thumbs up just to ensure that everything is shared properly. Awesome. So yeah, I'm Sophia. I'm the founder of Bob. I'm going to run through a short deck and then I'll show you the product. So in the past 6 months, how people have interacted with information is just fundamentally different than it was before. You type a question, get an answer back, you're able to follow up naturally. Yet when it comes to blockchain exploration, it remains incredibly primitive. So we deal with single-dimensional block explorers, manual data parsing, or even having to have knowledge of SQL in order to write basic on-chain questions. And so what ends up happening is this disconnect between what modern users expect out of the tooling and what blockchain tools still require. So a lot of critical on-chain questions and information end up becoming unanswerable. Even when LLMs meet blockchain, the world's most advanced AI models cannot accurately answer blockchain questions. Ones as simple as how many USDC transactions over $1,000 were sent this week. What we end up getting back is a very generic response of USDC without any specific transaction tracing or addresses involved, or just simply incorrectly indexing sources like Reddit. So we believe that on-chain search really needed a total rewrite, and so that's what we built. We're building essentially an all-in-one information engine for on-chain information. It lets you search and aggregate and monitor this activity in real time. At the heart of our system is a custom-built query language. So we've created this very intuitive system of building blocks that users can piece together to create really complex searches quickly and get back answers instantly. On top of this, we've built this on-chain and collaborative workspace with streamlined exploration features and built-in AI native intelligence. And then on top of this, we also built an MCP server, so we're able to consume this blockchain data, pass it through our MCP, and then make that available and ready for model companies to consume. So throughout history, we've seen this generational companies essentially democratize access. So by bringing really beautiful design and intuitive interfaces to this complex and opaque market, we're following the same proven pattern that has created billions in value. Even further, when machine-to-machine transactions become the norm, Bob will be the universal search standard for searching not just for humans, but also for agents. So a little bit about the team. We've been building together for over 3 years. We've engineered full-scale block explorers at previous companies. We're designers, we're engineers, and combined into one really highly motivated team. And we're very excited to be launching our private beta in August. So if you're excited to test out the tool, we would love any and all feedback. You can send me an email and I can add you to our wait list and would love to have new users try it out. But I'm going to run now, switch screens to our demo and give you a quick flow of how this would actually work. So at the heart of our system, like I mentioned, is a Command K menu. You can search across 3 different search categories. So if we wanted to build a search together, let's say we wanted to get all the transactions from an address that involved a certain set of assets, we can do that really quickly. I would go into the transaction search category. I'd grab the from building block. I'd grab, let's say, Brian.eth and ENS. We have these binary operators that you can piece together these queries, grab the asset building block, and then grab USDC and maybe not an individual NFT, but I want to search a collection of NFTs, and I can grab that, and now our search is complete. So I'll Command Enter. Now I get back a very malleable data table. I can drag and drop these columns around. I can add metadata to the table. I can group by certain properties. And even further, each of these rows are individual transactions. So you have a ton of metadata associated with them. We've made a lot of UI enhancements on how you can actually visualize asset flows, asset updates, how sub-transactions are happening within this transaction, developer-related information, so input data, output data, both raw and decoded, and events that were emitted within this transaction. Then even further, we've hyperlinked a lot of components within this page so we can click down and kind of rabbit hole into these sections. So if I click into USDC, I'm going to get this detail page of USDC, and I can see all the properties related to this token. I can see all the addresses that hold USDC and all the transactions that were recently involved USDC. Then maybe this wallet address looks interesting, so I can click alice.eth and get an address detail page back. Look at all the properties of this wallet address, look at the transactions they're involved in, look at the assets that they hold. We can also save this path or these paneled views into essentially save it and send it to someone or save it to our profile. And then even further, these searches can be saved into something called views. So these will update in real time with the chain. So you can basically save a view, roll up transactions, roll up addresses, roll up rocks, and basically save these searches in one and done, have all that data update in real time with the chain. What also is really powerful about views is they make the query language composable. So if we take top USDC holders, which is just all the addresses that hold USDC sorted by net worth, we can actually plug this into a building block and then perform a query on top of that. So if I wanted to get all the transactions that involve any top USDC holder, we make that really simple. I can grab this participants building block, paste in our view, and in one click, I can get all the transactions that involved any of those addresses from the view that we had created. On top of this, we're creating abstraction layers on top of the query language. So natural language sentences into our building blocks. So, the mental fatigue of actually having to learn the query system is now abstracted away. Doing more pointed data searches, like what is a specific NFT, being able to service that metadata in the terminal, being able to see, top 5, top 10 without having to navigate to a data table is something we're also building with the entire vision of being able to, one, we've indexed multiple chains, so now you can query across chains and get that macro and micro data back. And also charting capabilities that you can actually drill down into and get this granular data like you got in the data table, but now in this macro view. So yeah, that's a little bit about what we're building. Again, we are releasing our beta actually in a few weeks, which we're very excited about. So if you see any use cases that we can be helpful for, we'd really love to talk to you. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks.
Sophia. So next, we actually have the team. The team name, the previously we had a founder, her name is Sophia, but now the team is called Sophia, just to not confuse people here on the call and the live stream. So Sophia is the team that's working on the Agentic investment platform guided by experts. So the floor is yours. Hassan.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I'm here. So my name is Mohammed. I'm here to present Sophia, which is an agentic investment platform guided by experts. So what is the problem? As you know, there are numerous investment opportunities on crypto domain. It includes trading, staking, re-staking, lending, borrowing, liquidity providing, and so on. The main challenge here is that if you want to invest, not only you need to have a good understanding of finance, but you need to have a deep understanding of crypto technology, blockchain technology. The other challenge that we have is that this market is very volatile. It changes every day, every time, every second. Okay, so to help the investor to do better investment, one solution is based on agentic platforms. So here we will have like several AI agents that are competing and collaborating to do better investment. So the value of investment, agentic platform is well established within the AI, science and technology, within AI science and, industry. However, when it comes to investment, it has a major challenge, major problem. And the problem is that, agentic platforms are slow in adapting to the new market condition. So for this problem, in Sophia, we have a solution, and the solution is based on transparency of blockchain. So as you know, there are tens of thousands of, smart wallets or AI on-chain experts that are doing investment on different tokens using different DeFi protocols, okay? So because blockchain is transparent, we can see their activities. We can connect these activities. We can, extract intelligence out of it. And the volume of these transactions is about $13 billion every 24 hours. So it is a huge source of, intelligence. So what we do in Sophia, we feed this on-chain expertise, expert intelligence into this, agentic platform. So because of this knowledge, these agents have some, reference point, and so they can adjust themselves. They can adapt themselves very fast to the new market condition. So here, these agents have 3 domains for learning. One of them is reinforcement learning. They learn from their own success and failure. The other one is imitation learning. They learn from the success history of these on-chain experts that are doing investment for their own, interest by using their own money. They are not working for us. We are not paying them. We are not registering them. So we just see their story. We just see their activities, and we can learn and update our model. And the last one is online learning. Okay, so the activities of these, AI agents are guided by real-time expert activities of on-chain. So here, there is another major problem. The problem is that this huge source of intelligence is fragmented across different experts, different blockchains, and different domains. These are not located in one place. So here we have another solution for that. And this is based on, Sophia foundation model. So in Sophia, we are developing a foundation model that transfer all of these knowledge into a unified geometric embedding space with a lot of interesting mathematical properties. These mathematical properties help the agents to extract knowledge out of these, information that we provide. So these are essential to help the agents. Okay, so this unified space, unified embedding space, remove cross-expert, cross-domain, cross-chain intelligence barriers. So this foundation model is a part of Sophia platform. Okay, so where this platform is open for public to develop agents, and it is protected by trust oracles. So right now our plan is to use, EigenLayer trust oracles. We have some contract with them. So this is an open platform to develop agents. Not only that, this is a decentralized platform. This is managed by a DAO, and it is open for clients to invest, to bring money, and assign their money to different AI agents. Okay, so here you can see, like as a proof of concept, the result of our live execution over 18 months. This is not simulation. This is not backtesting. This is real live execution. We focus on, spot trading, mid-frequency. We focus on one chain and one DEX. The number of experts that we incorporate into our platform is 700. We are using their knowledge and expertise and their activities. So the number of different tokens that we trade is 5,000. The number of transactions during these 18 months has been 130,000. So the gain that we had is 378%, which is by far more than Bitcoin, which was 240%. So in this time, Bitcoin has been very, very successful. Still, we are far better than that. And it is almost twice of CCI 30, which is an index of the 30 most powerful, blockchains, cryptos. The last column is max drawdown. So it shows the risk. Smaller means that the absolute value is smaller, means that the risk is less. So for us, it is minus 15%. For Bitcoin, which is considered one of the safest investment, is minus 26%. So we are safer than Bitcoin, and it is far better than CCI 30. Okay, so this is our roadmap within the first year, we plan to expand our foundation models. Okay, so during this time, we are keep developing our own agent. We already have some agents. We want to develop more. In the next year, we plan to launch our platform, and so allow other people to develop agents on our platform. In the first phase, we allow agents to use our API to do investment in any other platform. So in the next phase, we will motivate them or incentivize them to develop their agents on our platform. And in the last phase, which is the third year, we make it fully decentral. So here, even managing the platform and onboarding the agents is done by DAO. So a little bit about us. I am faculty at the University of Minnesota. I have been researcher at Berkeley, Stanford. I've worked for Nokia Bell Labs for many years, about 10 years. I worked for Babylon, and my expertise is in blockchain, AI, and information theory. Our co-founder is Hanzale Akbari. He has been also he's expert in blockchain. He has been working in this area for about 8 years. He has been collaborating with Ethereum Foundation, EigenLayers, and his expertise is in intersection of AI and blockchain. So if you have any question or comment, please contact us through our Telegram, ID, which is here. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mohammed. Sophia is coming for your alpha, so build with them. Good stuff. Well, very cool. I'm excited to introduce this next team. I've got Ben and Steven from RockSolid. It's been a joy working with them, and so I won't front run their pitch. I'll just let them explain it. I think you can just start presenting, Steven, and then I will spotlight both of you.
Oh, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hi, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us. SBA, it's been a great program. Hi, I'm Steve Pack, co-founder and CEO of RockSolid. We bring single-click DeFi yields, and I'm joined by my co-founder, Ben, who's going to co-present with me today. Here is what we're going to cover. And let me start with a bit of context about what are liquid vaults? What are we talking about? And ironically, the best way to describe liquid vaults is to describe what world is like in DeFi without them. So let's say you're an ETH holder. What can you do with that ETH if you want to generate some returns? You can run a validator, you can stake with an LST, you can restake, you can lend and loop and keep on top of funding rates. You can provide liquidity to dexes, you can hedge impermanent loss. You can assess the risks of all of these things. You can monitor big positions, make sure you don't get liquidated. And you very quickly realize that you're not just a crypto degen anymore, but you're basically running a hedge fund out of your basement. And so what are liquid vaults? They are smart contracts plus a team plus a mandate that brings all of that together so that you can optimize returns, minimize risks for that given mandate, and that actually operate with proper controls, proper limits, proper monitoring to sort of give you that single click experience and get access to the best of DeFi. So that's what RockSolid is. We're single click vaults integrated. They make it very easy for users to access the best DeFi yields. And so it's a very clear benefit for the user, single click deposit. But crucially, we also integrate into partner protocols that want to offer that experience to their users and to their token holders. And we tailor the strategies that happen in these vaults to the needs of the protocol. And so I'm going to hand over to Ben to talk a bit more about the problem space and the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Quickly, Ben Ward, COO and co-founder of RockSolid. And yeah, we'll talk about the opportunity and the problem that we're trying to solve. So we all know DeFi is massive. There's over $100 billion of TVL in DeFi today, and orders of magnitude more of that is going to come online very soon with this explosion of stable coins that we're seeing. And vaults make DeFi easier to access. And as Steve said, DeFi is currently problematic or it's difficult to access. But vaults abstract all of that away, make it a single click experience, no technical knowledge required. And so we believe that vaults will bring DeFi to the next billion users. And we think vaults are the future of DeFi. And just as a little sample of the product market fit that we're already seeing vaults have, vaults were growing even during ETH's winter. Now, obviously, the meta and the narrative on ETH has turned around in recent weeks, but there was a pretty sad couple of years there. And even in that time, during the time that ETH price was down, staking flows were down, restaking was maturing, multiple vaults spun up from 0 to over 200,000 ETH, multiple billions of dollars in today's price at that time. So real big growth area within DeFi. And so what's the problem that we're solving? So asset issuers are sort of coming around to the value of vaults, and they want vaults. But what do they want specifically? They want TVL in their asset. They want flexibility on how that asset is deployed. They want yield for their users, and they want to own the customer relationship. But right now, the types of vaults that we're seeing in the market are not offering those things. They bring TVL, but that TVL is mostly mercenary capital and airdrop farmers. They offer rigid solutions that take sometimes weeks, sometimes months to implement new strategies or protocols, so they're slow to implement. Yields are often lower than they could be because strategies are predefined and thus constrained on what they can invest in, which means that strategies either get front run or arbitraged away before they're deployed. And asset issuers are disintermediated. They don't own the customer relationship. Often these vaults appear on a vault platform's website. If I'm an asset issuer, I'm one row amongst 50, and so I'm not getting those organic flows that I was expecting. And just as a couple of examples of vault-like products that are in the market right now, Berachain ran a pre-deposit campaign with Royco. It was, considered successful in the sense that there was more than $3 billion deposited into it. But you can see that TVL dropped right off once the incentives left, the capital left, and so the TVL wasn't sticky. And a recent campaign of pre-deposit vault just that launched last week, TAC, they had over 700 million in the vault. The blockchain itself launched last week. But you can see that 700 million of TVL in the pre-deposit only converted to 35 mil actually in on-chain DeFi on the protocol itself. And so it wasn't achieving the thing that it was supposed to achieve, which is to seed a DeFi ecosystem. And so these are sort of examples about how vaults aren't meeting the customer needs today. So what's the solution, and what are we building to fix these problems? So RockSolid vaults are fully customizable, they're actively managed to find the best yield, and they're integrated into the issuer front end so they can own the customer relationship. And importantly, they're deployable into DeFi on day one, so we don't see those issues that we saw of that lack of conversion on the prior slides. But most importantly, they are live in production right now. And I'll throw it back to Steve, who will give us a product demo.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. So yes, smart contracts are in production. We're not public. We're not, advertising yet. We still are in stealth. But I want to show you that all of this is, on mainnet. Contracts are audited. Everything is usable today. This is just an example vault on Base. Quite a familiar sort of deposit flow for anyone who's used DeFi. You're depositing some asset. In this case, it's Rocket Pool RETH. Could be regular ETH, staked ETH, wrapped ETH, and you get back some share of the vault. And this is the vault experience. Just by depositing, you're now getting exposure to these strategies, and these are just sample strategies: leverage looping on Aave, LPing into Uniswap. That's being actively managed by a professional asset manager, being monitored by a professional asset manager, and it's just an example here. It's all live on chain. And crucially, one difference we think compared to some vault solutions out there is agents are taking over the world. We just saw that in the last slide actually. But a lot of DeFi is still done as smoky backroom deals. In East Denver is one of the jokes. And so having the the ability to also participate in that part of DeFi is another benefit that we can and do bring to users of RockSolid vaults. That front end I just showed you, that's accessing things from the RockSolid front end. But like we mentioned, crucially, we actually integrate directly into protocol front ends as well. So when they want to really keep the customer in the flow, which helps with conversion, and they want to keep the customer in their branded experience, we can and do that. And we'll talk about one that's upcoming, but this is kind of just an example where we can be as integrated and as visible, in this case, the powered by, or as behind the scenes as the protocol customer wants. So Ben, over to you.
Cool. So yeah, just to quickly wrap up, just wanted to share some traction that we've got. We've signed an exclusive deal with a tier 1 multi-billion-dollar protocol, and integration of that is done. We won't announce that just yet, but I'll tease that in a moment. We're launching in September, October. So at that time, we'll come out of stealth and we'll announce this first deal and the partner that we've got. And yeah, traction, we're live, as Steve just demoed. The other thing that we'll announce when we come out of stealth is that we've closed a $3 million pre-seed. There's a bunch of great funds, strategics, and angels in there, and yeah, we'll share more when we come out of stealth in a couple of months and launch the product. And yeah, just finally, we'd love to get in touch with you all. Get in touch with us if you're an asset issuer looking to offer yield, if you're a capital allocator looking to earn yield on your ETH, if you're a DeFi platform looking for ETH flows, or if you're a VC fund wanting to learn more. Caveat, we're not raising right now, but always happy to have a conversation. And yeah, here are our socials. Scan the QR code. You can follow us or message us on Telegram and Twitter, or email there at hello@RockSolid. So great. Yeah, thanks, guys. Great to be here.
Sweet. Let's leave that slide up for half a second while I intro the next team, just so people can screen grab or scan or what have you. Awesome. And then there's a active YouTube chat where we can engage afterwards. Thanks again, guys. Awesome prezo. It's been a pleasure working with the RockSolid team. Next up we have Aeon. So Aeon is an omni-chain crypto payment framework for AI and real-world use, powering crypto mass adoption. So Eddie, please, let's take the floor. I will spotlight you now. I will try to spotlight you.
Yeah. Just share my screen. Hopefully everyone can see it. So hi everyone. My name is Eddie. I'm co-founder and CEO of Aeon, the project. So what we're doing here is a crypto payment settlement layer, basically for omni-chains. What we are trying to do is really bridge the Web3 liquidity to Web2 real-life use cases and for AIs. So the problem we're seeing is that we have a lot of users now compared to a few years back. We have over 200 million users at least on crypto side, but like less than 2% actually use crypto to pay. A lot of them use crypto to do staking, to do trading, to do a lot of other things. But like if we think back, right, what was crypto invented for? It was literally a P2P payment methods, right? So, but nothing has been done. Why is that the case? Because we think that the whole infrastructure right now for crypto payment is very scattered. For example, whenever you say you have crypto assets, you have crypto balance, it might be stored in a lot of places, right? So like exchanges, centralized custodians, wallets, or stake in some payment rails or DeFi protocols. Like it's very scattered. And then whenever you want to use that money and then to pay for certain things, say buy a coffee, buy a pizza, not even mention ramping, the consolidation itself become an issue. And same thing goes to the merchant as well. Say if they are crypto friendly and they want to receive these crypto payments, where do they actually retrieve these funds for? Do they post a ETH address? Do they post a Lightning payment receivers or something like that, right? So like it's very scattered for both ends to actually make a payment. And this is where we shine, and this is why we build a solution for consolidating all these payment pay-ins and to reach for the payout merchant networks. So yeah, consolidations, cross-chain liquidities, and we have a node network to make sure that everything is verifiable, nothing goes wrong, because this is a payment. We don't want any security issue to happen. And the team behind all the solutions is basically we're native crypto builders, entrepreneurs from Chainlink and Binance. Also, our CTO is from Google, been doing AI research and practical features for quite a while already. So we're pretty confident in building larger scale platforms for enterprise, and also we are very connected in a way in the crypto industry to make sure that all the use cases and scenarios happens. This is what it looks like. with our widget. We launched our product basically middle of last year, and then has been 2 quarters now, 2 or 3 quarters now, been seeing a lot of adoptions. And this is what it looks like once integrated with us. Basically, a consolidated wallet. People can choose different assets from their custodians or wallets and things to pay for certain stuff, right? So like real life things. This is a flow, basically a user flow. I'll give to the demo later. Basically, it's to scan a live QR code. Right now we are live in Southeast Asia, some Latin countries and some Africa countries. Basically, you can just go to those stores and scan their existing payment rails. In a lot of cases, in Southeast Asia, they don't have cards, so they use QR codes. And then you can scan it and then pay with your coins, be it BNB or other tokens or stable coins. We will settle automatically to the merchant in fiat. But what user will feel is just that it's deducted from their crypto balance. This solution has been very popular once we launched this. A lot of exchanges, centralized exchanges, custodians, wallets, and come to us for our solutions. So Bybit, KuCoin, BigGet, you name it. Like there are also other major exchanges are also already in the integration process. I won't expose here. And then also on the wallet side, you have Token, I think, a Trust Wallet, and a lot of others are also integrating with us. Yeah, we see a lot of tractions. Basically, we are enabling them to use their balance, to use the user balance to pay for the merchant. This is the coverage. Basically, we're biggest right now in Vietnam and Philippines. So in those places, over 70% of the stores, you can just walk to the stores and scan the code, and it will make the payment. So yeah, what's different is that we are not working with the merchant directly. We're working with local payment processors. So the whole merchant network will automatically be supported. And recently, what we've been doing in the new is that we are bringing this to AI. So we are utilizing everything we have been processing for the payment as a payment gateway, and the merchant network we have to serve AI agents. Basically, for example, ChatGPT right now cannot buy Amazon ebook, even if you want to grant them the access of your credit cards. It's just not enabled because of the via compliance, because of the settlement flow, everything. And then with crypto, we are able to do that. And we build a feature to enable that. Luckily, we are one of the few really live options for the AI agent. Recently, we've been working with a lot of Web3 protocols and Web2 AI agent as well. Yeah, more news will come as time goes, but yeah. Let me show you some live demos. Yeah, these are some photos and of what's being supported, just locally, like they're real life use cases. Let me share the video real quick. Yeah, this is a live demo we had with Vietnam. So Uniqlo, this is Uniqlo store, right? So basically buying clothes, and user can just shop around and buy the clothes. And when they go check out, so basically you can see the screen. There's a QR code on the post machine, and this QR code is not generated by us. Again, this is still existing there, and then we are able to synchronize that code with our solutions. Any wallets or applications that integrate with us will be able to synchronize this and choose their crypto assets to pay for it. Here we support most of the tokens, but most use case we've been seeing is still stable coins. And then that goes through. So just like that, a settlement has been done. Crypto has been converted to Vietnam dollars, and everything just go through. On the merchant side, they don't even know that you are actually paying from crypto. We believe that seamless experience is what makes mass adoptions, and that goes through. And then also we have another demo to very quickly show as well, but that's on the AI end. Let me see. Basically, what we've been seeing is enabling agents, right? So like once you can authorize your wallet to our agent networks, and then say you want to buy a game card. Find the game card and try to see locate it. That's the card merchandise they want to purchase. And normally all these AI agents will stop here and just post you the link or give you the QR code and pay for it, ask you to pay for it. And then if the agent is integrated with our solution, we'll be able to pay for this QR code or this whole merchant with crypto balance they pre off. And this is also live. As the result, you'll be actually receiving the merchant email confirming saying that this is actually live. So yeah, we are integrating with multiple partners, and if you guys are building anything related to consumer-facing agents, we'd love to talk and to partner with. So yeah, this is basically it. Thanks.
Amazing. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Leo. That was a great prezo. Next up, we have Plvr, also known as the team from RaveDAO, and presenting for that team is Chi. Hi, Chi.
Hey, guys. Nice meeting everyone. We are, quite a special spot where we are intersecting with AI, blockchain, and entertainment. And we want to be the data and the financial layer for the entire live entertainment industry. And thanks, Stephen, Gail, and Quinn for giving us the opportunity here to present today. First, I will do a quick intro about our team. Just make sure everyone can see my screen, right? I guess so. I'm joining with our CEO, Yamu, who is a raver, serial entrepreneurship in fintech and crypto, with 2 of his project lists on Binance and Coinbase. Me, myself, I was tech lead at Coinbase and Base, also Stanford Alumni, now leading the product and tech side. Also, we have Jeff joining us today as our COO, who was the head of international expansion at Viagogo, which is the largest secondary markets for ticketing that exists. And the rest of the team are mostly from Binance, TikTok, ZK-Link, etc. So let's actually begin by taking a look at what is a ticket, right? So you might think it's just an access to your favorite concert, music festival, sports, but it's actually much more than that. At the very beginning, the ticket was read-only, right? You could see them, maybe print them, but just a paper, there's no data interaction or whatsoever. In Web 2, it transitioned to become a digital asset where you could buy, transfer, and scan them to some extent, but they're still limited. Right? One of the 10 people actually got scammed in the US when buying tickets from the secondary markets. Resale markets is quite large, it's about 40% of the primary markets, but none of that is flowing back to the creators or event organizers. And the problem will become even worse when AI comes, right? Because essentially everyone becomes a bot. In addition, there's no way for AI to know the authenticity of the tickets without putting it on the blockchain. There's also a problem about data fragmentation or ownership, right? Artists don't know where their fans are. Fans cannot identify, where the data are and whether they belong to them or not. They're fragmented across multiple platforms. So tickets today are still trapped in the Web 2 world where promoters can't target their fans. Artists don't control their resales, and centralized platforms are extracting all the values. So that's why we built Plvr, a data plus financial infrastructure for live entertainment, where fans can own their experiences, artists can earn every resale, and the system is transparent, fair, and verifiable by default. Because the ticket shouldn't be just like a passive event, it should be a new asset class and the data that user actually owns. So that comes our 3 pillars. We have ticketing that ranges everything from buying, selling tickets to data analytics to AI agents. We have Plvr Finance, which is essentially like a real-world asset pool that people can, deposit money and generate stable yields with stable coins. Third pillar being like Launchpad, think of as a virtuous protocol, but for artists and events. And our core ticketing, we have at our bottom, we want to bring everyone to Web3 by generating them a wallet by default, and then by controlling all the primary and secondary markets resale through smart contracts and redistribute that revenue back to the content creators and making every ticket verifiable and controllable. We also want to enable everyone to be able to sell tickets, essentially with the Temu plus Uber model, where every fund is a sales channel and they can earn rewards in the meantime. With AI agents, right, they can help users to discover events, to even automate the flow to pay and buy tickets. On the business side, right, they can, the AI can help them with marketing strategy, with pricing and whatnot. So secondly, with financing, right, we are currently working on a product that user can deposit stable coins such as USDC or USDT, for example, into a pool with like 12 to 24% APY yield. And then, we can loan that money to event organizers to cover the event costs. And once we collect all the money back, we can pay back the pool. This is a case study that we have with RaveDAO, which is our own event arm, where we are from them $500K US dollar for covering the event cost. With a 24% APY for 3 months, it unlocks a whole new avenue for all those event organizers funding their events, and it's much faster, much more transparent than how it is done today. Last but not least, we have the Launchpad that we mentioned, where we can launch either physical or digital experiences for artists and events. It could be a physical merch, just like a t-shirt or hat, or like a token as a virtual merch. We launched about 4 months ago, and we have already partnered with a lot of the largest EDM and music festivals in APAC area. For example, Nia Countdown, which is one of the largest New Year EDM festival in Southeast Asia, that's joining 30,000 fans from the globe. DWP project, which is Indonesia's largest music festival that is attracting 80,000 attendees every year. CM Sangkran Festival, which is the largest Sangkran-themed EDM festival with 80K fans in Bangkok. And that is just the beginning. This is actually a screenshot from yesterday, where we started a blind bird sale for Neo Countdown. And we just helped them enable their very first crypto payments ever. And this is their 10-year anniversary. Slowly but surely, we're onboarding everyone to Web3 with this new global infrastructure one by one. Now, let me transition to a quick demo of our product. Hope everyone can see it. This is our product that is live at the Plvr.io. We are essentially allowing to log in using your familiar social logins like email. And every time you sort of log in or log into our system, asks you to create an account, and then we'll generate a wallet for you in the backend. And once you log in, you can sort of browse the events. This is the new countdown event that I was mentioning, right? You can go book a ticket, entering the information that the event organizers are collecting. And then you can go check out. In the checkout step, you got a couple of options. You can pay using your traditional payment methods like Google, Apple Pay, cards, or even like local payments, or with crypto, right? Everything is integrated and smooth. Users don't really need to know about crypto under the scene. And now I'm going to switch back to do a second demo of our AI agent payment flow. And this is something we're working with Coinbase and Base using their newest X402 agent payment workflow. So I'm going to play the video now. So we have this little agent here that you can come in and explore events. You can choose one of the events and choose how many number of tickets you want to buy. And here, if you do have USDC balance in your wallet, it's going to automatically deduct it from it. And now it's processing payments from your wallet. and that's done. You've got your tickets live, and this is the code that we use to enter the event. This is on site where we'll have our scanner app that scans the app. This is, by the way, our own events in Dubai in this past May. This 4,000 people venue that we have that was all full, powered by Plvr and RipDAO. And with that, I'm going to end it here. Thanks everyone for listening. We're always hiring, and we're actively looking for anyone that is hosting events, know those event organizers. You can find us at Plvr.io or our X account and Instagram account. So thank you very much, everyone. That will be it.
Awesome. Thank you. Really appreciate it. We are moving on to our last presentation. This team unfortunately could not make it in real time because they are fast asleep in their beds in Europe. So I'm going to play a video for them. This is Belfort. They are hardware acceleration for cryptography primitives starting with FHE, and I will let them share the rest of that story.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lawrence, and I represent Belfort. Thanks so much to the Stanford Blockchain team for allowing us to be here. Nevertheless, brief step back. AI is eating the world, including our sensitive data, healthcare records, legal documents, financial data. There's a bit of a paradox, right? The most sensitive data is actually the most valuable, and so we're missing out. Now, we believe sensitive data requires better high-trust infrastructure, and we can do this in 3 different ways. We can use statistics, federated learning. This is hard to orchestrate. You need to trust participants. You can use hardware, dedicated hardware, like trust execution environments. This requires you to trust that hardware. My team has hacked TEs in 20 plus different ways, including without having physical access. And so I think most of you in this room will agree that cryptography is king, right? We want to just trust mathematics, trust cryptography. This is what's called fully homomorphic encryption. Now, the only problem there is that it's 5 orders of magnitude slower and costlier. Now, what the hell is FHE, right? FHE is basically a technology that allows you to run computation on data in encrypted form. So you encrypt your data, you can send it, you can put it, for example, on a cloud. You can run computation on that cloud without decrypting it, and the result will still be encrypted and can only be decrypted by the data owner. Magic. Now, this is not just about privacy. It's about control, owning that data, making sure that it always stays yours. Security, protecting your data, making sure that it's never exposed. And it's about value, unlocking data that is currently too sensitive to use. We believe that in 10 years, no meaningful AI will still run on plain text. It will run on ciphertext. But we will need hardware acceleration for that. And that's where we come in with Belfort. We have proprietary technology that allows you to run encrypted compute workloads 5x faster, 12x cheaper, and 28 times more energy efficient. Already today, right now on AWS. And we have this product ready before getting any first money on the bank. While some of our competitors have raised more than $50 million. By the end of the year, we will get to 50x. And hopefully by 2028, when we have our own dedicated ASICs, our own dedicated chips, we get to 3, maybe 4 orders of magnitude. And then the difference between running AI or running any compute on ciphertext versus plain text is only 1 order of magnitude. Now, I used a couple of acronyms, so let's maybe take a little step back. What do we have now? We have a product that is readily available through AWS, Amazon Web Services, where we have programmed our hardware architecture on FPGA cloud servers. FPGAs are basically programmable hardware servers. So Amazon has CPUs, GPUs, but also FPGAs. And so you do not need to ship any hardware. You need to buy our hardware. No, you can just go on Amazon, change with 2 lines of code your program to run it instead of on a CPU on an FPGA, run our AMI, meaning our executable on that hardware, and immediately feel the speed increase 5 to 10x for any encrypted compute workload. We have users, Flatbots, Monadic DNA, a couple of others. We have a pipeline of customers that are ready to pay. And we are working with some really cool companies, delivery partners such as AMD and Amazon, but also libraries like Zama and Google. Who is the team behind this? Obviously, we are a very research-heavy team. Ingrid is a visiting professor at Stanford. She's a full professor at KU Leuven. She's been working on hardware encryption and hardware accelerators for the past 30 years. She's won many awards, including multiple ERC grants. Most recently, she basically won the Belgian Nobel Prize. You can look it up. Together with her two PhDs, former PhDs, Michiel and Furkan, they started the spin-off about 12 months ago. Michiel is our CEO and CTO. He's an absolute wizard when it comes to hardware architecture. He was the architecture lead for a DARPA project that won the DARPA prize for CKKS FHE acceleration. Furkan is our FPGA specialist. He's an AMD bug hunter and incredible talent when it comes to hardware design. And I am the final sort of piece of the puzzle here. I actually, full circle, also studied electrical engineering at KU Leuven, the same university in Belgium, but then ventured into sort of the dark side, did my MBA at Harvard, spent some time at BCG, ended up here at Google X in Silicon Valley, then was a VC for 5 years, including a partner at Grafton Ventures, and then saw the light and wanted to start building again. So here I am. We believe crypto will only be the first lily pad. It will basically open up many more use cases across many more verticals as the speed of FHE, of encrypted compute goes up, including in finance, government, healthcare, and so on. I don't know whether some of you saw, for example, the news that last week there was this huge, crazy news in the UK that the UK military leaked a list of Afghan helpers that helped them during the war in Afghanistan and cost them more than 7 billion pounds, about $10 billion. This is the kind of stuff that will not happen anymore if we use encrypted compute, if we basically run those things in the FHE domain. So huge potential across the board, currently focusing on FHE power users, mostly in blockchain. And those are basically, it's a sort of no-brainer for them to switch to our product. Why? Because one, they will save costs because it's cheaper to run their solutions, their applications on FPGA Belfort clouds rather than CPU. Two, we increase their performance. So their TPS goes up, like for example, FHE power blockchains like Inco, like Phoenix, or co-processors like Zama. It just goes faster. Three, they stay within their familiar environment. Oftentimes they're already familiar with AWS. They're running their nodes on AWS. They can stay there. So, and we sell them licenses. It's really cool. We're a hardware company, deep tech company, but we operate like a software company and we sell basically licenses as hardware as a service. So that's us. We believe the future is encrypted. We hope you do as well. Please do email me, Laurens, Laurens, at belfortlabs.com if this triggered your interest. We would love to collaborate. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. That is the show. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for staying and listening. If you're registered in the Luma, we'll follow up with a list of team names, X addresses, websites, etc., so you can follow up and follow along. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again. See you next cohort.
Thanks all.
Hi, Phoenix. All right. Cheers, y'all. Bye.